Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have a massive Battlefield 6 news roundup. Obviously, this is one day before the big multiplayer reveal on July 31st, so keep an eye on the channel. I'm going to be covering that live as well as making recap videos and all of that. But for today, we're going to be covering all the stuff that has happened in the past probably 36 hours. There's been a ton of stuff. So if you want to follow Battlefield 6, this is the channel for you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders, and on this very YouTube channel, I do multi-stream. All links for the stream, Discord, Instagram are in the description. The first thing I want to cover is a very important clarification from David Sirland, aka Tigger. He's a lead producer working at DICE on the next Battlefield game. The damage control he was doing was because of a rival X Factor tweet. I'm sure a lot of you know X Factor Gaming, OG Battlefield YouTuber. He's been tweeting up a storm recently, and he tweeted this: Battlefield 6 has added Wallhacks, and it's going to be a giant problem. And what he's referring to is the assault class had this Mark II stimulant ability, and when you use this, apparently it exposed all enemies through cover and walls. It puts a highlight on enemies and all that sort of thing. And he was saying, oh my god, you know, Battlefield 6 added wall hacks. David Sirland shut this down as fast as he could with massive clarifications, and he had this to say: what is referred to here was an old initial make classes as impactful as possible exploration for assault class gadgets, the stim pen. It was tested on Battlefield Labs for, I believe, one build a long time ago, and it has been removed from the feature set since then for good reasons. So hold on to your horses, see you later this week. David Sirland got ahead of this because this was kind of going viral on Twitter, and then of course it was blowing up on Reddit and everybody was freaking out. And the reason I'm covering this first is because it gained that much traction. I want people to see what David Sirland had to say about this. There are not going to be wall hacks in Battlefield 6 for the assault class. The next thing I'm going to cover is a brief statement from Tom Henderson on Twitter stating that, quote, the Battlefield 6 August 4th beta date is wrong to my knowledge. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. The multiplayer reveal is July 31st, which is Thursday, so maybe we'll get beta news come that date. The next thing I'm going to cover is a bunch of huge Telegram leaks from the 1BF Battlefield channel. They have apparently data mined or leaked all of the multiplayer maps, including remastered maps from previous Battlefield games and campaign missions. You can see on this graphic they have assigned names to these previously leaked screenshots of maps, along with where the map is located. If you count the amount of maps here, there are 14 multiplayer maps, 1 BR map, and a bunch of campaign missions. We have to take these with a massive grain of salt because, of course, they are leaks. However, if Battlefield 6 actually has 14 multiplayer maps on launch, I will be floored. I really will. I will be absolutely, just majorly surprised. And if you take a look at the maps they chose to apparently remaster, we have Operation Firestorm. That's not surprising. It is a fan favorite map. We have Propaganda from Battlefield 4, which is again a fan favorite map. Tala Market from Battlefield 3, which I tout as one of my favorite infantry maps of all time. And Downtown, interestingly enough, from Battlefield Hardline, but it does make sense given the sort of urban locations of a lot of these maps. Taking a look at the specific locations for each of these maps, we have 2 in Cairo, 2 in Gibraltar, 2 in Tajikistan, interestingly 3 in California, including the Battle Royale map, and 1 map in Brooklyn, New York. Again, if all of this is release content, and then they announce that we're getting a decent amount of post-launch content with every new season, ladies and gentlemen, we could potentially be back. But let me not cope just yet. You know, this is a leak. We haven't seen anything official announced. Next up on this big news roundup is Battlefield Today has tweeted multiple different content creator graphics regarding the July 31st multiplayer reveal and who is going to be attending, but they've deleted both of them because, well, they just keep forgetting to add people on the graphic. But the reaction from a lot of people is what is important here. People are really questioning why they're inviting a bunch of Warzone streamers, right? People feel that Battlefield creators need to be invited because, of course, well, they're Battlefield creators. But I think what the community is missing out here is Of course they're inviting Warzone streamers. They're more than likely going to reveal the Battle Royale at the multiplayer reveal. It's a huge part of the next game, whether you want to play it or not. So of course they're going to be inviting people from other communities. This is marketing after all, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world reveal of the Battlefield 6 multiplayer. The next few things I'm going to cover are both statements from EA CEO Andrew Wilson regarding multiple things with Battlefield 6. Firstly, he states that apparently EA is not looking to increase pricing on their games, which is very suspicious. What do you mean EA doesn't want to make more money, Andrew Wilson? This is very interesting indeed. He had this to say, though, quote, "The company is not looking to make any dramatic changes in pricing for frontline games. This directly suggests that the base level of Battlefield 6 will launch at $70, which I have to be honest with you, games are just overpriced nowadays. Like, guys, do we all remember the days of gaming where they were like $30 or $40 and then they actually gave you more stuff than games do now? If you grew up and got to experience peak gaming between the years of, I'd say, 2000 and maybe 2014, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? We're talking about the Halo trilogy, the original Call of Duties, the original, God-tier Battlefield games in the early 2010s. Skyrim in 2011, just absolute cinema. But enough reminiscing. Andrew Wilson did have a Q&A session in this earnings call, and this is via Battlefield Bulletin. If you don't follow Battlefield Bulletin on Twitter, by the way, you really should, because they just do a great job at covering everything Battlefield. Andrew Wilson starts off this Q&A session by stating that they have invested more behind this Battlefield game than ever before, which is kind of like classic corpo cope. Oh, we've put the most money into this product, which means it's going to succeed. Well, that's not exactly true. But after this, he goes on and mentions that content creators will spend all day with the products tomorrow. I assume he means the day before the official reveal, so actually the 30th when this video comes out. And, quote, they'll begin streaming that product, Battlefield 6, out to their fan bases on Thursday. He then goes on to say, we believe that the game we've built and all the modes around it are very in line with fan expectations around the world, both existing Battlefield fans and new fans to the franchise. We spent a lot of time and a lot of energy ensuring that this Battlefield is the Battlefield that the community expects, and so given that relative to what we're seeing in the marketplace, we feel very, very good about our launch window this year. I know you have many questions. A great many of those will be answered. You may leave with some more, but almost all of them, I hope, will be positive in nature. Then he goes on to say that apparently Thursday's multiplayer reveal event will be the most ambitious reveal yet, with massive multiplayer showcases featuring epic maps and modes. Andrew Wilson says a lot of things, right? So we'll just have to wait and see how this multiplayer reveal goes. That is all I have for you in this video today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be covering every single thing to do with the multiplayer reveal and Battlefield 6. I will be co-streaming the multiplayer reveal on this YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. Be sure to follow the stream, first link in the description. Follow your boy on Twitter and join the Discord. We're always yapping about Battlefield in there and every single other game under the sun. I hope you guys found this informative and enjoyable, and I will see you guys in the next video.